All right. Hello, my friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy middle of July. Sorry I'm a little bit late with my check-in this week, but I wanted to record this little video here to let you all know that I have been thinking about you. And I was listening to a podcast this morning, of course, since story of my life, always listen to those. And it was Ed Mylett, and he was talking about identity. And he compared our identity, how we identify ourselves, how we describe ourselves, how we react to the world around us. He compared that to a thermostat. For example, the thermostat on my wall up there is set to 72 degrees right now. When I get ready to go to sleep, I'll turn it down. But 72 degrees is where it's at. And, if the door were to open and a whole bunch of cold air were to blow in here, that thermostat or the heater would kick on. Or if the door were to open and a bunch of cold air were to blow, or warm air were to blow in here, the air conditioning would kick on to regulate this room that I'm in right now back down to 72 degrees. And that's the way it is with us in our lives. It's not our external circumstances that determine who we are. It's how we've identified ourselves. And the only way that we can change that temperature is we can change the way that we react to the circumstances around us, or determine how we can get to our goals is to change the setting on that thermostat. So I know that there are several of you who have told me about, fears you have of reverting back to old habits, of, me in a previous life or me at this point last year would have done X. I would have reacted in this situation. I would have done this. I would have done that. My hope as your coach is that as you've been experiencing this program, is that you are starting to make shifts in that identity, and that you're starting to recognize that the way that you're responding to different things is different now, and that you have that solid why, that solid reason motivating you to, adjust that thermostat, change it to a different setting. If you have a goal in mind, if you have something that you're really trying to reach for, whether it's a goal for today or a goal for this next week or a goal for this next year, sometimes, we can't really make any massive action towards that goal if we're stuck in our present situation, if our mind isn't willing to change, if we're not willing to make adjustments on that thermostat. And sometimes those adjustments aren't very comfortable. But, I have another, you can't see the sign from here, but I have another sign on my floor over here that says, "Great things never happened in comfort zones." So the focus for this week, at the risk of rambling too long, the focus for this week was on just identifying those basic healthy habits. We talked, when we originally started talking about this program, we talked about healthy sleep. We talked about healthy motion. We talked about stress management. We talked about drinking enough water. We talked about eating healthy. We talked about, all of these different areas where we can choose to put a little bit of extra attention in. And so my challenge for you for this week would be to, think about, a lot of you are doing some incredible things. I am so excited. Not a lot of you, all of you, every single one of you are doing some incredible things. And I'm so excited to see the progress that you've made. It really makes me happy. And it's inspiring for me for when I'm struggling with my own personal journey, because I may be your coach, but I'm not perfect. It's a day-to-day thing for me. So I would encourage you to think about one of those areas. If you saw the newsletter today or this week, think about one of those areas where you feel like maybe you could turn it up a notch. You're doing X in this particular area, but what's your X plus 1? It doesn't have to be, if we're thinking mathematically here, we don't have to think X and Y. We don't have to completely change to something different, but enhance what we're already doing. So I would encourage you to think about what that thing is and what you would like to have a mini goal be for this week. I'm really excited because next week I'm headed to Orlando for National Convention, where we're going to get a lot of awesome training from some major leaders in this company, and I'm excited to bring what I learn back to all of you. And I'm excited to hear how your journey is going, what successes you're having, what struggles you're having, how I can help co-pilot, if you listen to the webinar tonight, how I can help co-pilot you on your journey towards your own version of optimal health. Love you all, and I'm super grateful for the opportunity that you've given me to be your coach, and I am excited to see where this journey takes all of us.